Last week, the disciples were huddled behind locked doors. They were definitely afraid. They were all there when Jesus showed up. All except for Thomas. Thomas. Now, we hardly ever say his name without adding a qualifier, do we? We call him Doubting Thomas, or Thomas the Doubter. But I have to tell you, I think he gets a bad rap, because Thomas is really a lot like all of us. He knows the world through what he can see and hear and reach out and touch, by what he's been taught, by what his reasoning has taught him, by all he has learned, by all he can hold on to and control. And what the other disciples have told him about someone who was dead being alive again, well, it just doesn't fit into the world that Thomas knows. Now, here's what I like about Thomas. Thomas is flat honest. He's not willing to gloss over all this. He's not willing to just go with the flow. He has doubts, he has questions, and he's willing to say so. And he tells the other disciples, I will believe when I can put my fingers into his nail marks and my hand into his side. Now, a week later, in John chapter 20, beginning in the 24th verse, guess who shows up again? Jesus. And this time all of the disciples are there, and Thomas is there as well. Now, I want you to just think about that for a moment, because everybody else in that room has already experienced the risen Christ. The only one who missed out is Thomas. And so Jesus is here now for Thomas. And he offers him the opportunity to do exactly what he asked for. Now, we don't know whether Thomas reached out and touched the wounds, but we do know that face to face with the risen Christ, Thomas makes a stunning declaration of faith. My Lord and my God. Now, really, I think that Thomas is a lot like all of us. I mean, if we're really honest with ourselves, who doesn't have a question or two? Who doesn't have a doubt here or there? For whom is it still, there's still some wrestling to be done? It's Frederick Buechner who tells us that doubts are the ants in the pants of faith. They keep us stirring. They keep us moving. They keep us wrestling. And here's the thing. It's okay to admit that you don't know everything. It's okay to admit you don't have all the answers. It is our questions and our doubts that keep us in this living, growing, wrestling relationship with God as we seek to be those who are following Jesus every step of the way, and who seek to have our very being grounded in the risen Lord. Now, Jesus has one other very interesting thing to say to Thomas. He tells Thomas, you have seen and so you believe, but blessed are those who have not seen and yet believe. Blessed are we when we allow our questions, our doubts, our wrestling to draw us closer to God. I want to share with you one word out of Peter's letter to the faithful. In the first chapter, he begins this way. He says, you never saw him, yet you love him. You don't see him, yet you trust him. Because you keep on believing, you'll get what you're looking forward to. Total salvation. Blessings to you.